It's really going to come down to the reason that you are smoking marijuana. It can help to elevate your testosterone, and it can also help to suppress your testosterone. It depends on why exactly you are taking it. But if you are taking it for Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be debunking the myth that marijuana suppresses testosterone. But before I start, you guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, ding ding ding. And if you don't want to watch the entire video, I will be including timestamps in the description so you can skip ahead to the section that you want. Now, onto the topic at hand. The myth that marijuana suppresses testosterone has been floating around for a couple decades now, and the truth is there is simply no conclusive evidence to support the fact that marijuana either elevates or suppresses your testosterone levels. In fact, if you were to go online and look up scientific studies on marijuana and testosterone levels, you can find conflicting data all over the place, which is true with pretty much anything that you want to find online. Pretty much whatever your hypothesis is, you can find a scientific study to support your hypothesis. But what I want to go over is cases in which marijuana may help to elevate and cases in which marijuana may help to suppress your testosterone levels, depending on how exactly you use it. Particularly, I'm going to be going over chronic stress, sleep deprivation, extreme calorie restriction, obesity, and excessive alcohol consumption. Now, before we actually get into those different topics, what exactly would normal testosterone levels look like? Well, depending on where exactly you live, these reference ranges are going to change from country to country because no country has the same reference ranges. But as a general guideline, these are the reference ranges that I use with my own patients, and these are from the book Your Blood Never Lies from James Laval. Pretty much if you are a man in between the ages of 13 to 17, your testosterone levels, and this is your total testosterone, should fall anywhere between 28 to 1100 nanograms per milliliter. If you are a man who is 18 or older, your testosterone levels, your total testosterone, should fall anywhere from 280 to 800 nanograms per milliliter. And if you are a woman who is under 18 years old, your total testosterone should fall between 6 to 82 nanograms per milliliter. Now, with regard to testosterone, we have total testosterone and then free testosterone. With regard to free testosterone, the reference ranges are going to be for men in their 20s, you should be anywhere from 9.3 to 26.5 picograms per milliliter. If you are a man in your 30s, you should be between 8.7 to 25.1 picograms per milliliter. If you are a man in your 40s, the normal reference ranges are going to be 7.4 to 24 picograms per milliliter. If you are a man in your 50s, you should fall anywhere from 6.8 to 21.5 picograms per milliliter. And if you are a man who is 60 or older, your free testosterone should fall in the range of anywhere from 6.6 to 18.1 picograms per milliliter. And if you are a woman, your free testosterone, if you are a woman between the ages of 18 to 59, should fall between 0 to 2.2 picograms per milliliter. And if you are a woman who is 60 or older, your free testosterone should fall anywhere in between the range of 0 to 1.8 picograms per milliliter. And now that we got that out of the way, what exactly are some things that may help to either elevate or decrease your testosterone levels, and how exactly can marijuana either help or exacerbate those symptoms? Well, the first thing I want to look at is chronic stress. With regard to stress, if you are under chronic stress, stress is one thing that has been proven to decrease testosterone levels. When your body is under stress, your body is going to secrete the hormone cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and it is secreted anytime your body is under any type of physiological stress. And one of the things with regard to stress is your body is incapable of differentiating between different types of stressors. We have physical stressors, mental stressors, we have thermal stressors. There are many different types of stressors that we encounter on a day-to-day basis, and on a physiological level, our bodies are incapable of differentiating between those different types of stressors. So if you are stressed from a work deadline that is due tomorrow and you need to get it done, or if you're stressed because you did a 5-hour cardio session that your body was not capable of handling, your body is going to secrete the hormone cortisol. And if you have chronically elevated levels of cortisol, this can wreak havoc on your system and especially your testosterone. It can make it plummet. So with regard to marijuana, how exactly can marijuana either help or exacerbate symptoms of testosterone, whether it's high or low testosterone? Well, if you are somebody who suffers from, let's say, anxiety, and smoking a high THC strain of marijuana makes you even more anxious and causes you to get really, really stressed out, then for that type of an individual, then marijuana would not be beneficial. And in fact, it would actually lower their testosterone levels because, again, if you do smoke and you find that it stresses you out and you get very, very anxious, then that can have a terrible effect on your testosterone levels. Now, let's say that same person who suffers from anxiety if they find a marijuana strain that is correct for them, let's say they find something, it's a low THC strain, not too powerful, and it is just enough to help calm them down, ease their anxiety. Well, if you are not suffering from anxiety when you are smoking because you found a strain that is right for you, then you're not going to be under stress. And when you are not under stress, your body is not going to be suppressing its testosterone levels. So if you find that you are chronically stressed out and by smoking marijuana, it can help to alleviate your symptoms of stress, then by incorporating marijuana, that would actually help to increase your testosterone levels because it is going to be lowering your cortisol levels because you won't be stressed out all the time. However, if you're the type of person where smoking marijuana gives you really bad anxiety and it stresses you out a lot, then you would not want to consume marijuana, because when you have marijuana, it is going to cause you to get very, very stressed. And as your cortisol levels go up, your testosterone levels are going to drop down. So in the case of chronic stress, what you want to look at is how exactly do you respond to marijuana. If you're the type of person where it calms you down, then absolutely incorporating it may have some benefit and it may help to increase your testosterone levels. But if it further stresses you out and gives you really bad anxiety, then it can have a detrimental effect because your cortisol levels will be elevated, which will help to lower your testosterone levels. So you need to find the strain that is correct for you. Experiment with different ones if it is something that you plan on experimenting with. Try a low THC strain, try a medium THC strain, and try a high THC strain. See how different potencies react to your body and see exactly which one is going to be right for you, if it is something that you would like to use. And also where I live in Canada, and where I live, it is perfectly legal. So if you live somewhere where it is not legal, then trying to find marijuana could be even a greater sense of stress, because then you have to worry about getting locked up and going to jail. So if it is illegal where you live, then I wouldn't recommend doing this, because the stressor that is going to be involved from trying to acquire it is going to raise your cortisol levels, and that is going to suppress your testosterone. But if where you live it is legal, or if you are able to get a medical card, then this would be one way that you could try experimenting with it. But again, you want to find the strain that works right for you. Next, I want to get into sleep deprivation. With regard to sleep, this is another thing that the evidence is pretty clear. If you suffer from sleep deprivation, especially if this persists for a long enough period of time, this is going to decrease your levels of free and total testosterone. So with regard to marijuana, this can actually help to improve your sleep quality, and by improving your sleep quality, this will help to elevate your testosterone levels. Now, with regard to sleep deprivation, if you are the type of person where you smoke marijuana and it knocks you out, puts you to sleep right away, and it's going to allow you to have a really good night's sleep, then yes, this may have some beneficial impacts on your testosterone levels, because if you are getting an adequate amount of sleep throughout the day, then this is going to be very beneficial in terms of your body producing an adequate amount of testosterone. So if you do find that incorporating marijuana helps you to fall asleep, if you do suffer from sleep disturbances, then this would be one beneficial way to go about it. However, that being said, if you are the type of person where you smoke the wrong strain, and when you smoke marijuana, you are unable to go to sleep and you are just staring at the ceiling all night, then this would have the opposite effect, because if you are not going to sleep and you are continuing to get sleep deprivation, then this is going to lower your testosterone levels. So once again, you need to experiment with yourself. Me personally, over the course of the last 10 years, I have been using marijuana before I go to bed, particularly to help with my sleep issues, because sleep has always been an issue with me ever since I was a little kid. So when I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2010, I originally got a medical prescription of marijuana for my ulcerative colitis, but I noticed that it also had a tremendous improvement on my sleep quality. So that is personally why I use it. And every year I end up getting my blood work measured, and my free and normal testosterone always fall within the normal ranges. So for me personally, it hasn't had a detrimental effect. And one of the reasons why it hasn't had a detrimental effect is because I keep all of these 5 things under check, and marijuana does help with a couple of them. Now that we've discussed sleep, next I want to get into extreme calorie restrictions. A lot of people, especially people that are really trying to lose a lot of weight, will tend to go on extreme calorie restrictions. And if you go on an excessive calorie restriction, what's going to happen is this is going to have a negative impact on your testosterone levels. Basically, when you are in a caloric deficit, your body is naturally going to be in a more catabolic state. When you are in a caloric surplus trying to gain weight, your body is going to be in a more naturally anabolic state. So because when you do a weight cut, you are going to be naturally more catabolic, if you go on an extreme weight cut, this is going to exacerbate those symptoms, and it will cause you to lower your testosterone levels anymore. Now, with regard to this, let's say you are the type of person where you are in extreme calorie restriction, but you are not doing it voluntarily. I'm going to use myself as an example. When I was first diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2010, I've already told the story, but I'm going to tell it again. For 10 days straight, I was unable to eat anything whatsoever. Anything that I tried to put into my mouth, I would immediately throw it up within a minute or two of eating that food. And by the end of the 10 days, I ended up losing so much weight that my father ended up going to one of his workers, and his worker, he had a mother who had cancer, and they were growing marijuana for his mother. So he ended up bringing home some for me. I ended up smoking, and I was able to eat an entire box of crackers, an entire bowl of soup, and I was still hungry after I ate that. So for me, it had a tremendous impact on me because I was actually able to consume food. So if you are the type of person where you are on an extreme calorie restriction and you're not doing it voluntarily, rather you're doing it because you are either getting nauseous because you have a specific condition, then if smoking marijuana allows you to eat more food and allows you to not be in an extreme calorie restriction, then that can actually have an improvement on your testosterone levels, because if you are able to maintain your calories or even be in a little bit of a surplus, your body's going to be more naturally anabolic, which is going to increase the amount of muscle that you're able to build, and it's also going to help to elevate your free and total testosterone levels. So if you are the type of person where you find it difficult to eat enough food, then experimenting with a little bit of marijuana may be beneficial for you to see if you can improve any of those different symptoms. Next, I want to get into obesity. Obesity is another thing that will lower your free and total testosterone. So with regard to obesity, if you are the type of person where you absolutely despise training and you just don't want to work out whatsoever, if consuming something like marijuana makes it more pleasant for you, more enjoyable, and it gets you off the couch and allows you to go to the gym, then go ahead, incorporate it, experiment with different strains, see how exactly you feel. Because if you are able to incorporate it and it motivates you to go to the gym and work out, then it is going to be absolutely beneficial for you. Me personally, I don't like using it to work out because I find that it has the opposite effect on me. I've only ever worked out once while I had smoked marijuana, and the one time that I did it, I had a terrible workout. So if you are the type of person where smoking is going to make you more lazy and you don't want to work out, then this is going to have the opposite effect, because if it causes you to just not go to the gym, stay on the couch, and you are already obese, and this causes you to become even more obese because you're just sitting on the couch doing nothing at all, then I would not recommend experimenting with marijuana, because it is going to have the opposite effect. And by sitting on the couch and doing nothing at all, you are just going to end up lowering your free and total testosterone over more. However, if it does help to motivate you and it makes you want to go to the gym and it makes going to the gym more enjoyable for you, then try experimenting and see how exactly it works for you. Again, though, with all of these different scenarios, you want to get your blood levels checked and make sure that you do fall within those reference ranges, because if you are at a proper level, then there won't be any real benefit or drawback to consuming marijuana. It's going to come down to personal preference. But moving on, I'm going to move on to the last topic, and that is going to be excessive alcohol consumption. One thing that we do know is that excessive alcohol consumption will lower your free and total testosterone. So if you are the type of person that enjoys heavy drinking and you do it on a regular basis, then substituting heavy alcohol consumption for something like marijuana, particularly something like a vaporizer, would actually be beneficial. Because if by consuming marijuana you are able to avoid chronic drinking, particularly excessive alcohol consumption, then because you are not consuming copious amounts of alcohol, this will help to elevate your testosterone levels. But again, this is going to be on a person-to-person basis. If you're the type of person where you don't really drink, then incorporating marijuana is not going to negate the effects of that, because the excessive alcohol consumption is going to be one of the reasons why you may have low testosterone levels. But if you are the type of person where you enjoy going out on the weekends and you do drink excessively, then swapping out the alcohol for marijuana, or even limiting your alcohol where you're not completely eliminating it, but then incorporating a little bit more marijuana just to kind of make it a little bit more enjoyable for you when you go out, then this may also be another avenue for you to experiment with. But you need to see how exactly you feel. If you're the type of person where marijuana decreases your stress levels, where it allows you to sleep better, where it allows you to eat more food if you're in an extreme deficit, or if it helps to motivate you to go to the gym or decrease your alcohol consumption, then in those cases, incorporating marijuana into your program would be beneficial, because it will help to elevate your free testosterone and your total testosterone levels. But if you are the type of person where smoking marijuana elevates your stress levels, it makes it really difficult for you to fall asleep, it also makes it really difficult for you to eat, or on the flip side, if it makes it really easy for you to eat and it's going to cause you to consume excessive amounts of calories, then consuming marijuana is actually going to have the opposite effect on you, and it is going to cause your testosterone levels to drop. So as with everything, there is no black or white answer. Marijuana, it's not going to elevate your testosterone automatically. It's not going to suppress your testosterone automatically. It's really going to come down to the reason that you are smoking marijuana. It can help to elevate your testosterone, and it can also help to suppress your testosterone. It depends on why exactly you are taking it. But if you are taking it for the right reasons, then it may have a beneficial impact on your testosterone levels. But if it's something that you would like to experiment with and you're afraid that it is going to suppress your testosterone levels, do not be afraid of marijuana suppressing your testosterone levels, because depending on how exactly you take it, when you take it, and what is the reason for you taking it, it can have a beneficial impact on your testosterone, just like it can have a negative impact on your testosterone depending on the reason. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.